Cryptus here with just a quick video to discuss Death Knights at level 90 from a Frost dual wield PvP perspective. And now that I've reached level 90, I've had a chance to try out two new abilities that Death Knights got. I decided to try out Remorseless Winter from the tier 6 talents, and I also gave Soul Reaper a try. Here's what I think so far. First, I'd like to cover Soul Reaper, the level 87 talent. Here are just a few pros. 1. Execute. It is our first execute based ability, so like warriors, once the target is under 35%, this ability can be used to finish them off. 2. Can do decent damage in PvE, especially when it crits. 3. Costs 1 frost rune, so it doesn't use too many resources. 4. Grants a haste bonus of 50% if the target dies before Soul Reaper can actually proc. So again, these are just some basic pros of the ability. Let's go ahead and cover the basic cons. 1. There is a 5-second countdown timer which can be hard to time. This means once Soul Reaper is applied, you have 5 seconds to get the target below 35% or finish them off with a haste bonus. 2. Can be dispelled. 3. Frost Mastery doesn't scale very well, unlike the Unholy Spec does. 4. Haste bonus is only 5 seconds instead of the 10 seconds as listed in the tooltip. 5. Damage is hit or miss in PvP. Sometimes it will hit for about 5 to 6k, other times it can hit for about 30 to 35k. It's been random for me lately. 6. Cooldown is based off 2 resources, in other words it has a standard rune cooldown and then it has a 6-second ability cooldown. So again, those are just some basic pros and cons of the ability. So I went ahead and did a battleground and kept the recount DPS log to see the average damage and proc Soul Reaper had. Here are the results I came out with. Out of a total of 11 procs, 10 of which had a minimum of 3k with an average of 12k damage. The max hit was at 50k non-crit, which was probably on a poorly geared player. And then there was one crit at 131k, which again was probably on the same poorly geared character. So my thoughts on Soul Reaper currently is that it is a very odd mechanic. It may not be as great as a warrior execute, but it is a free source of damage if you can pull it off on a regular basis when doing PvP. But I wouldn't really rely on it for being a real execute as a Frost Death Knight. Now to cover the tier 6 ability of Remorseless Winter. Pros. 1. Single target and AoE stun. 2. No cast time required, all that is needed is the 5 stack, but you are mobile and allowed to apply stacks while applying pressure to your target. 3. 5-second stun, which again is AoE and single target based. 4. Works while you are CC'd, meaning if you are feared or stunned, if the ability is active, your target will get stunned at 5 stacks. 5. Doesn't break on damage, unlike Hungry and Cold did. Now let's cover some cons. 1. It can be dispelled from what I've noticed. 2. Short range of about 8 yards, so it is strictly a melee specific ability. 3. You must get 5 stacks for it to work, which can fall off if you do not remain on your target constantly. Here's a reason why I chose Remorseless Winter over the other two options. 1. Gorefiend Grasp wasn't very useful in PvP. It didn't really help me out when I tried to use it. All it did was pull everyone in front of me, which caused them to focus fire me and kill me much quicker. I feel it is more of a PvE taking talent for the moment, but I'm sure in the future it can be helpful for rated battlegrounds or just standard battlegrounds. 2. Desecrated Ground. The idea itself is actually really good, but as a melee, you constantly need to be moving around chasing healers or maybe like a ranged class like a hunter or mage. So once you leave the affected area, it is no longer active and you no longer gain the benefit of the talent. So another nice thing about having the Desecrated Ground talent is it actually replicates having another PvP tree kit on top of the one you already have. So it almost seems like you have 2 PvP tree kits. That itself is actually really nice. So try them out, see what works for you and your playstyle. I myself prefer to have an additional stun, but I'm sure that each of these talents within the right hands and playstyle can be very strong and viable. So that is my basic thoughts on Soul Reaper and our tier 6 abilities and why I chose Remorseless Winter. I really hope this helps answer some questions for when it comes to PvP and Frost Death Knights. Thanks for watching.